Hello everyone, this is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. I'm just trying to get my camera straight here. Looks like it's a little crooked. There we go. Okay, I think I'm straight. Happy Sunday everyone, and welcome to a live demonstration. I'm going to be creating this card today. Hi Janine, hi Lisa. We are going to be using a new stamp set. Hi Carol. This will be available on June 1st. Pick a Pennant. And then I'm also using the coordinating Playful Pennants dies. And the two dies that I'm using today are the two with the rickrack. Now I'm going to show you a couple card samples before I get going. Hi Kathy, hi Diane, hi Sue. Welcome everyone. So I'm going to show you a couple cards that I made using this stamp set. This one I made last week, or was it this week? It might have been this week. This is a standing upright pocket card, and I used this die to do the two colors that you see, and then the longer one was to cut the top. So that was one card that I used with the dies. Another card that I made, this one was one of my display cards that I made for On Stage in Hartford, Connecticut. And I actually used the Stamparatus to stamp all of these in a row here. And I'll probably do something like that once the Stamparatus is out again. I'll show you guys how to do that. And then my third card, this is a longer card made to fit in a number 10 envelope. And I just used the banner with a couple birds, the flowers in the corner, and then the bows are die cut and raised. So that was my third card. So tonight, this is the one we're going to make. Now I'm using 3 new colors. And how I came up with my color combination is I looked at my ink pads and I grabbed these 3 and then added in the Flirty Flamingo. That's how I came up with my color choices. My ink pads actually sit right in front of me, and sometimes that's how I come up with my combinations, is to just pick and choose some of the ink pads that I see right in front of me. Okay, so I'm going to put that one away and that one away. Now let's get started with the size of cardstock that we need. Hi Regina, hi Ann, hi Kim. So glad you guys are here on a Sunday. Okay, first color is Gorgeous Grape, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Don't you guys love these two purples that we are getting? They're so fabulous together. Next we have Coastal Cabana, 5 1/4 by 4. This is a returning color that had retired a couple years ago, and I'm so happy. One of my favorite color combinations is actually Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana together. So I'm glad this one came back. Highland Heather, 4 3/4 by 3.5. And then 2 Whisper White strips. And those are going to be for the banners right here. So those are just for stamping. So let me move this out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and fold my cardstock. Now I'm going to bring in the Petals of Plenty embossing folder, and I'm going to emboss the Coastal Cabana layer. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's all embossed. So let me bring in my Big Shot. I'm going to try not to drop anything tonight. If you were with me on my last class, I dropped my platform plates and my clear plates. Okay, I'm going to emboss that. And this is an embossing folder that carried over into the new catalog. Now I use both sides. This is the side with the bumps, and then this is the side with the debossed side. So they both look pretty. I'm actually using the debossed side tonight. So we're going to go ahead and glue that. Oh, Regina, you agree with me. The Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay is such a nice color combination. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my mat. Let me just get a scrap piece of paper. And the first thing I'm going to do is cut or stamp the banners, the 3 banners with the gorgeous grape. And then we go ahead and cut. And I did forget to show you, when these are cut, you actually can lift them up and then you can see the color peeking underneath. It's kind of neat how these work out. Now, new ink pads, remember, lift and slide. No more sliding, lifting, and sliding. These are so much easier. So now I'm going to ink the banner. And these are kind of fun because you can create your own banners every which way you want. Oh, I just messed up, so let me try that again. I got too much ink. This is where the Stamparatus would come in handy. I'm going to try to ink this upside down instead. And wipe as I go. As I always tell my customers, there's always 2 sides to a cardstock. And yes, I do make mistakes just like anyone else. I just can't cut them out on a live video. Banner number 2. Isn't that ink pretty? It's such a vivid, it really is a true grape color. Okay, and this is my 3rd one. Okay, now I'm going to bring the Big Shot in again. And we're actually using this die. And I'm going to make sure that the cutting side is up. Now let me change my plate. So I'm using the magnetic plate. I wanted to show you guys too, see how bad my plate is. It's starting to cut there. I have been using this like this for a couple months now, and it's going to break one of these days, but I'm gonna get full usage out of it and go until it actually breaks off. Okay, so cutting side is up. And I'm actually going to bring in some washi tape to hold it in place. Now this card is going to take a little bit longer than what you guys are used to seeing because I'm cutting a few times. Okay, there's my first cut. Now these dies were not available for demonstrators to purchase in the pre-order. I was lucky that I got these for being a display stamper. They were actually sent to me to use for free, which was kind of neat. Okay, here's my 3rd one. And I will have to bring the Big Shot in one more time to do the white banners. So now this is where you can actually lift up on these. And I tried to lift up on them before I glued my cardstock in place. Just made it a little bit easier to lift them up after it was glued in place. Now I'm going to bring that in. And because all of these lift, I do add a little bit of glue in the middle to make sure the whole thing doesn't lift up. Okay, so there's my banners, the beginning of my banners. And again, I'm going to lift them up. Okay, so now I'm going to set this aside and we'll work on the Flirty Flamingo banners. And let me get my white pieces of cardstock. So I need 2 of those. And I also need my mat. I'm just using the mat underneath just for extra foam so that the banners stamp a little bit better. Okay, see, I missed a spot right there. Let me flip that over. Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness, that's not stamping well at all. Hold on, I'm not pressing down hard enough. I need to go get another piece of cardstock. Hold on. I think I'm afraid to get my clear block dirty, so I'm not pressing down hard enough. So let's just go for it. And like I said, this would be the perfect, oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm wiping it with my cloth. Duh. That's exactly what I did. I wiped it off with my cloth when I was wiping the additional ink. It took me a minute there to figure that out. Okay, there's banner number 2. Now, before I cut these out, I want to add all of the lettering, and it says happy birthday. Now, something that made this a little quicker for me, I went ahead and got all of the letters I needed. So this is for the happy. I put them all on one block. Birthday on one block. And then I have some Post-it notes here. And I'm actually going to cover that just so they don't get full of ink. So here's my H. And then I'm going to move these over. I just thought this would be quicker instead of having to put a letter away and take another one out. Now I'm inking right on the corner. And this one I need 2 P's. But see how that's working as I cover? I'm not messing up my banners. And then all of my letters are right there for me to use, so I don't have to keep swapping them out. So there's my happy. Now I'm going to switch stamps. And this is the letters for the birthday. Wait a minute, I gotta make sure they're not upside down too. So there's the B. Only a few more left to go. T. Now the H is on my other block for the happy. I better make sure I spelled that right. Okay, birth. 3 more. D. I think I'm gonna take this one off. I'm scared it's gonna go over here. Okay, where am I up to? I'm up to the A. I lost track. 1 more. And now I need, oh, of course I need the Y that I just took off. Okay. So I thought that was pretty quick doing it that way. That's just an idea. So let me go ahead and get the big shot one more time. And this time we're using the longer banner die that has the strings on each side. It's so hard to do this sideways. Okay, I think I got it. You know what, that's a little too long, so I'm going to move it over just a tad. It just won't stay in place, will it? Let me get another washi tape here. It keeps moving on me. Okay, so this is the first banner. See how cute those are? I just love these. Okay, one more. And I'm not usually someone that likes to work with small stamp sets. I like my images to be a little bit bigger. But this one was a lot of fun, actually. Okay, so there's banner number 2. So you could actually use these banners to create any of the words. Now I decided, I opted to leave the spare banners just as they are. But if you look at the stamp set, you could always add some of the designs on the end. There's some little hearts up here, a bow. There's all kinds of stuff you could add to your banners. Okay, now I'm going to bring these in. And I'm going to use mini dimensionals to glue them in place. These dimensionals are left over from one of my paper pumpkin kits, but they're the same size as the ones that we can purchase. Okay, now I'm going to add the happy. And it's going to be a little bit too long, but I'm going to trim the ends afterwards. So I'm going to put that right about, whoops, right about here. And then the birthday. Oh, Gloria, thanks. You like the idea about how I stamped the letters. I just found it was just easier to take all the letters out at once, so you didn't have to mess with them while you were trying to stamp. Okay, and there's the birthday. And now I'm going to bring my scissors in and just trim right there. And I did go ahead and stamp my little tassels. I put one on the end and one at the beginning. These are so tiny. And there is a die to cut those, which is pretty neat. So I'm just going to slide that underneath where the string ends and then where it begins. And lastly, I'm going to add some of the new faceted dots. And let's see, I'm going to use the Blackberry Bliss colored ones. Let's see, I'll add 2. And I've only got one left, so I'll add, actually I could put a larger one. I'll put a larger one in the middle there. Okay, and that's my card. So as you can see, if you lift these up, just make sure they're all popped up. And that's it. I hope you like my card for tonight. I'll be on again on Wednesday for my Design with Debbie. I did post what you needed for supplies earlier today, so make sure you scroll down on my page to see what you need for class. And that's it for tonight, and I'm so glad you joined in tonight. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Thanks, everyone.